Man, this Ole Miss quarterback room. All right, so Ole Miss has apparently landed a commitment, not apparently, reportedly, according to Chris Lowe, landed a commitment from former Oklahoma State quarterback Spencer Sanders. A lot of football played by Spencer Sanders in his time, but this comes one day after we've got a commitment from former LSU quarterback Walker Howard, a blue chip who followed Brian Kelly from Notre Dame, followed his commitment, Brian Kelly from Notre Dame to LSU. And we still have Jackson Dart in that quarterback room. So, good gracious, what is Lane Kiffin hoarding at Ole Miss? How in the world are we going to have a Spencer Sanders, a Walker Howard, and a Jackson Dart? And what?
We're going to have 3 quarterback system. He's changing the game forever.
Or, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is even allowed to happen. They have to compete for their job. Like, what is happening? What is wrong with Ole Miss making them compete and actually earn their playing time? Lane Kiffin should be fired. You cannot have 3 quarterbacks. You have to guarantee somebody their starting job, or else it's an invalid quarterback room. Like, it doesn't count. Like, this should be not a big deal. And yet I had the same reaction you guys did. Like, oh my gosh, what does Walker Howard think? He just committed here. Now he's got another guy in the room, and they already have a guy who's played a lot. But it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I say kudos to Lane Kiffin, because I think I've told you guys on here before, if I was a coach, I would try to stack the quarterback room as much as I could and tell them, hey, I'll give you an opportunity to compete. If you don't win, I get it. You can transfer. But throw your hat in the ring, and we'll give it to the best man and see if he can win. Now you have options, and competition will allow the best to rise to the top. So I think it's great. I think it's a great job by Lane Kiffin. I'd be very curious to know what the players think. You know, obviously Spencer Sanders knows everything. Everything's on the table before him. But I'm curious to know what Jackson Dart thinks, what Walker Howard thinks. Like, those guys are probably a little bit like, whoa. They might be in for a little bit of awakening that they might not have seen coming.
I don't disagree with any of that. I will say I think it's far more likely Jackson Dart transfers to TCU or someplace else than it is he sticks around to be with those 3. I don't know. It's odd. What Chris Lowe also reported that Sanders was down to Ole Miss and Auburn, right? Is it not kind of strange that he chose that situation at Ole Miss over the situation at Auburn?
I mean, we use the word chose. Are we sure that both schools could get him in? I mean, that's the kind of thing is like sometimes we're dealing with incomplete information when it comes to the portal. You know, like some of these top guys can get into one school and can't get into another. And I'm not saying that is the case with Spencer Sanders. I'm just raising the point. Not everybody is always able to get everywhere that they quote unquote, you know, I don't even know if he put out a top 2. That's just reporting by whomever you said it was Chris Lowe, I think.
Chris Lowe, yeah.
I mean, maybe the chance of getting into Ole Miss was higher than the chance of getting into Auburn. I'm not saying Auburn's a better school or anything, but maybe it was. I don't know. Has Walker Howard enrolled at Ole Miss yet?
Like, do you think after putting out that graphic and then making his big announcement and everything that he would see this and then buck it?
I don't think so, but it's certainly possible, right? If he has not enrolled. Although we are getting pretty late as far as when you can actually enroll and get into school at most of these places. Now, if you're on the quarter system, it's a little different, and some schools have an advantage on quarter system, but Ole Miss is on the semester system, according to Google. So
somehow, magically, some of those issues just go away if the guy is talented enough. Like, even with because when I was following the Rashada case, like all his stuff and when he could enroll, there were a bunch of things that said, yes, the deadline was Friday, but there could be exceptions made within the next couple weeks, you know, saying they could figure something out. So I think it would be the same here.
See, that's kind of what I was getting at, though, too, because it's not so much the academic situation. It's just I think Spencer Sanders is a good quarterback. I think Jackson Dart is a good quarterback. I don't know which one of those two would win a competition with each other. Maybe Walker Howard outplays both of them and wins the starting job. It's just, isn't there? I'm just surprised that Spencer Sanders would go to Ole Miss when I feel like there's a clearer path to the field at other places right now. So kudos to Lane for getting all three of them. It's just it's a decision that when I first saw the tweet this morning from Lowe announcing it, it was just kind of like it really caught me off guard because I was like, huh, I would have thought Spencer Sanders could have found somewhere that was a little more, direct. Like it's his final year of eligibility. Like this is clearly his last chance to convince an NFL team that he's an NFL player. It's just weird to me that he's going to a place where he might not be guaranteed snaps.
In terms of playing style, what Ole Miss is running with Quinshon Judkins and with the trying to do a versatile ground attack that involves the quarterback run. I mean, that fits Spencer Sanders. Like he should be able to show up and he should be able to be successful within this system. It's also hilarious to think that Lane found out Auburn was in the mix and just wanted to snipe him from Hugh Freeze. I mean, that's what I really want. Because what didn't we get some Hugh Lane sniping even in the shortly after the hire was made, and we're already starting to get some back and forth and some Lane got his Twitter fingers out and started taking some shots at Freeze, and now he's just taking quarterbacks because he can. I mean, this is what I would like to imagine, just because it'd be hilarious. But ultimately, Spencer Sanders is a playing style good fit for what we saw from Ole Miss's offense last year, especially with Judkins coming back.
Yeah, I mean, look, 18-8 touchdown interception ratio, 7.6 yards per attempt is pretty disappointing from Dart within this Lane Kiffin offense. I mean, Lane schemes it up for you. You don't have to do a ton of thinking compared to some of these offenses, like literally some of the ones in that division. You should be much better. Basically, every quarterback who plays for Lane has better numbers than that. And I just, if you're Ole Miss, can you run Dart out there again? I think you bring in Spencer Sanders to start, and if you bring in Walker Howard, I would expect him to beat Jackson Dart out. I mean, Jackson Dart has some talent, but didn't really get with the program as far as the overall production stuff. The question there is, he already transferred from USC. Is he a graduate? Can he go again, or does he have some basis for a waiver claim that would allow him to transfer elsewhere if he doesn't win the job coming out of spring?
At one point, is a waiver claim going to be, oh, yeah, they signed too many guys. I lost out. At some point, that's probably where we're going to get to. I love it from Spencer Sanders' perspective because he just dropped his nuts on the table and was like, let's go. Like, he knew who was there, and I guarantee he thinks I'm better than these guys, and I have to respect that.
Yep. Former Big 12 Offensive Rookie of the Year, very productive throughout his time with Oklahoma State. Again, Chris Lowe reporting this morning that Spencer Sanders has chosen Ole Miss over Auburn. Do we think Jackson Dart does stick around, or do we think he's out?
Maybe. I don't know. I just feel like the way that things work, like Danny was talking about, it's great to have competition. It's just the way you see things work is my theory is one of these three will end up transferring out.
I think it's just absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think it'll probably be after the spring, though. You get to size everybody up. You go through the spring practice. You kind of get to see, all right, how many reps are they getting? And you kind of figure it out. Like, you'll see the writing on the wall. So if Jackson Dart is looking around saying, man, he's getting a lot of reps, starting to, establish himself as a leader, either one, in the huddle, in the locker room, it could be in a little bit of trouble.
Jackson Dart, if you could add some online classes to your course load and get faster to your undergraduate degree, that'd be a great way to be able to play immediately if you do need to head out and be somewhere else for the fall. If you need any tips on no-show classes, holler at your boy. I got you right here. Okay, so
two-time felon Chip Patterson.
Yeah.
But you also offer those to regular students, so it's not a violation, right?
Right. Yeah, the non-athletes were in there too. So